David Ornstein has dropped an exclusive via The Athletic, which is the company he works for, and has confirmed that Eddie Nketiah is in talks to join Nottingham Forest. And I'm sure some of you lot browsing social media would have seen that apparently his box at the Emirates Stadium is being cleared out. So let's see exactly what David Ornstein has said, people. Now, as you know, Eddie Nketiah, 1 minute it was Marseille, you heard Crystal Palace, you heard Wolves. He's been linked with several clubs, and many people were quick to point the finger at Eddie and say, oh, you know, he's not getting money, he's overpricing players, etc., etc. We're a long way off confirming Eddie Nketiah to Nottingham Forest, apologies, but it seems like outgoings are progressing where Arsenal's concerned, and we've got like what, a week or so of the deadline of the transfer deadline day to go, people, or the transfer window until deadline day. We need to get a move on in terms of outgoings and incomings. At the time of making this video, David Ornstein an hour ago said Nottingham Forest pursuing deal to sign Eddie Nketiah from Arsenal. They've also simultaneously been linked with Santiago Jimenez of Feyenoord, so maybe they sign both. Maybe they've not been given positive signals either by Feyenoord or the individual, you know, the Mexican Jimenez. Either way, if Arsenal can get 30-odd million, we wish him all the best, people. He's playing in the Premier League. Obviously, we get finances with that, and we might be able to bring in an attacker or a striker or an inside forward. And surely, I know Eddie Nketiah like Smith Rowe and Nelson on the peripheral things, but surely our squad in terms of depth in the attacking options, surely we need another one. Nottingham Forest have made a move for Eddie Nketiah, their top target to strengthen in attack, and are pursuing a deal to sign the striker from Arsenal. Now, if he's their top target, that tells me they're going to do all they can. Maybe Edu knew that there was this kind of interest from Nottingham Forest, and this would kind of happen. We did previously hear Nketiah had agreed personal terms with Marseille earlier this summer, but the clubs were unable to compromise on a transfer fee for the 25-year-old, in which, you know, the game that Edu has been playing seems to work, provided this still happens. That has enabled Nottingham Forest to step up their interest, and the East Midlands side have seen an opening bid worth 25 million, including add-ons rejected. Now, that is their first offer. You hope negotiations continue. Apparently we've got an asking price of 30 million. Potentially Arsenal have or haven't showed their hand with what we was willing to accept or not accept from Marseille. If we can get over 30 million, I know I shouldn't be greedy, it's great, and I'm not being funny. Nottingham Forest are a Premier League side. This isn't going to happen, but flip the table, people. If we was, regardless of what Eddie Nketiah is, whatever Eddie Nketiah has achieved in the game, if he was at Nottingham Forest and we was trying to buy him, what would we be quoted, people? Apparently, negotiations continue between the Premier League counterparts, while at the same time, Forest are in talks with Nketiah's rep. So Arsenal and Nottingham Forest are talking simultaneously. Nottingham Forest are evidently talking with Nketiah's agent, seeing the length of contract he wants, the wage demands, the add-ons, and the feasibility. Arsenal are expected by suitors to hold off for a price in the region of 30 to 35 million for their academy graduate, who is under contract until June 2027. So we know he needs to move on from a footballing point of view, but that tells us that we are, quote-unquote, in a position of strength. Although allegedly he's on 100 bags a week, I'm sure Arsenal would like to shave that off the wage bill. Crystal Palace retain a long-standing admiration, have spoken to Arsenal, although they are currently not in dialogue to the extent of Forest. So again, Crystal Palace, they like Eddie Nketiah. Selfishly for Arsenal, we hope to spark a bidding war, but Crystal Palace either need to get a move on. They don't think it's value for money, and there's no feasibility. Like, there's a, you know, willingness from Eddie Nketiah from Nottingham Forest, and you'd imagine Arsenal, because he's been on offer all summer, to get a deal done. The two-time European champions have looked at a deal for Feyenoord Santiago Jimenez too. However, Nketiah is the priority as things stand, and they are determined to secure his services. It is felt at the City Ground that Nketiah would fit perfectly into a homegrown core, which includes Elliot Anderson, who they signed from Newcastle, apologies. Hudson-Odoi joined them from Chelsea. Morgan Gibbs-White obviously came through their system, and Nico Williams was once upon a time at Liverpool. Eddie Nketiah can leave with his head held high, people. You know, he's got one England cap. He's got 38 goals in 168 appearances for Arsenal, which isn't eye-catching. He's won an FA Cup. He's worn the number 14. He scored a hat-trick. He's been a Haaland success story. He's gone from being someone released from Chelsea to playing in the Premier League, to getting capped by England, to scoring for Arsenal, to being a professional footballer and making us 30 million quid. Not everyone can go the distance that Arsenal Football Club needs to go. And to be honest with you, I do think Eddie Nketiah is harshly treated by fans, but unfortunately, probably shouldn't be wearing the number 14. past his sell-by date, and it's best that this marriage, you know, ends in a divorce. He needs to go somewhere where he's got more of a stature in the squad, evidently plays games and can live his life as a professional footballer. We need to reinvest either in a striker or other areas of the team, people. Eddie Nketiah was an unused substitute against Wolves people on Saturday. And I mean, if this is coming out now, when did the talks with Nottingham Forest start? I don't know, people. And you'd imagine Eddie Nketiah and his advisors are pushing for this move as much as I hope Arsenal fans and Arsenal are as well. So I wish Eddie Nketiah all the best. Can't count our chickens before they hatch. It just seems like an opening bid's been rejected. Talks continue. Haven't heard a fee's been agreed or a medical's been booked. So we need to take time with it. But yeah, man, it would be nice to have another conclusion drawn, and where potentially Reece Nelson, Aaron Ramsdale, Kiwior is concerned. If they are to leave, get them out, and crucially bring players in to aid us of our push of silverware. So that's all there is, people. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Rest assured that if there's any emerging news, you know I'll get videos out for you lot. On that note, take care, stay blessed, peace.
I think